Good evening, everybody. Crypto Strain here. Very honoured to have Vedran from Revuto come on the channel, the CEO of Revuto. I've done a dedicated video last week. I know my video was very long because there's a lot to cover about the project. So it's a great honour to have you on, Vedran, to discuss Revuto much more in depth than what I could do. Obviously, much more knowledge than I've got. So it's great to have you on because it's a fascinating project you've got, and it certainly really does fascinate me. So thanks for coming on. Really do appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you for having me here. I'm going to be happy to explain you everything what we do. I'm going to try to be short because, as you explained, a lot of things to cover.
Yeah, yeah, there is a lot. So when I've done the video, obviously I went through all the different aspects that you're covering, and obviously you've got a very exciting roadmap this year and next year. There was many parts to it. It was really interesting. Actually, talking about the app itself, I've joined the app, obviously.
Yeah. So app itself. So basically, what we are trying to do is, in a way, reinvent how people subscribe with subscriptions, how they control, manage, and pay for their subscriptions. So those are the basic things. Still, we have so many things and features, cool features built into the app, especially regarding the crypto side of the story, with DeFi setups, and most lately even with the NFTs. So we have a really awesome and appealing use case for NFTs within the Revuto ecosystem and subscriptions. So
that's good. Over time, will the app, obviously it's going to keep developing, but will you be able to buy a review, the token direct on the app this year?
Yeah, that's a good question. So now we are working on introducing the fiat to crypto on-ramp within the app. So with that feature, people are going to be able to basically buy not just Revu token, but ADA directly with the app.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, it's fascinating. You were built on the Cardano network. I spoke about Cardano. Yeah. The first ever video was about Cardano. So again, it's fascinating the fact you built on the Cardano blockchain. I find that absolutely wonderful as well. So it's a true thing. I've showed people before how
it's a bold move.
Yeah.
It was a bold move in a way. But yeah, we are, I have to say that we are pleased with the Cardano, although, people have their own opinion about the network. But I believe that all networks have their own issues. With the Cardano, they took a different approach, but most importantly, so the network is secure, and it's fast.
Yeah.
Transaction fees are low. So, and those are three basic things that actually we consider very important when building on blockchain, especially a payment solution like ours. So we are managing subscriptions and everything, but dealing with the virtual debit cards and with the payments, it's a tricky thing to do.
Yeah, I think with Cardano, obviously, we've all been very patient waiting for originally just Belly to come out, and even the Dollars wallets were constantly updating all the time. But long term, it's still, they've never had issues. Obviously Luna was a disaster, but they've never had issues like Solana with it. So Cardano for me long term is my number one. I've always stated that. So the fact you're built on it is a real. There's not.
Listen, things work on Cardano, and believe it or not, everything that you see already launched on other blockchains, you're gonna see soon up and running on Cardano. So be sure about that.
No, it's wonderful. So getting back to the app, when it comes to staking, that's something I'm always very into, is staking. Will you be able to stake direct on the app soon, or is it you literally have to go through Meld, or is it BYFI you use? Because for the staking side of things, I haven't actually staked any Revu yet.
Yeah, so we have the staking center, and we have some amazing staking options within it. So, but be clear about it. So we are just using that staking center to actually incentivize the user base. So staking is not our core business, and the setup by itself is built to actually. So what we do, we don't use necessarily smart contracts, or we don't put those funds in protocols. We are just making partnerships with other. Now all partnerships are with the Cardano project. So we have some amazing offerings. And yeah, so it's more about the business decision with whom we're gonna work with, and which tokens are we gonna support through the staking center. But because we make great deals with those projects regarding the farming and even pre-ISPO offerings and things like that, so we have really amazing yields, and it's a good opportunity for people to actually earn additional funds.
Yeah. I've always sort of said, like, it's excellent passive income, and with the price of the token at the moment, it's actually still relatively low, because your max supply, I think, was 280 million. So that's quite low, isn't it, really?
Yes.
So there's a lot of potential there for people when you think it's long term with the project, and that's what I sort of covered on the video. It's your roadmap, but it's also your huge team as well behind it. You can see the vision there. So you've certainly got all the fundamentals, which is why I was really fascinated. Getting back, so basically I was getting back to the app, really, about the virtual debit card and the Revu token for the subscriptions. So I was just going through that side of it, how the Revu token can use to pay for subscriptions, all the big ones that are covered.
Okay, so basically what's the plan? The plan is to actually reward people whenever they use our debit cards instead of their own personal credit or debit cards to subscribe with the service providers. There are a couple of advantages of doing that. One main advantage is because we protect you, and we allow you, we protect you from unnecessary expenses, and you are in charge of that card or any expenses coming through that card in general. And there's some really cool features like block snooze approve, with which you can actually select what you want to do with payment when the payment due is. Then the biggest advantage is also to be able to top up that virtual debit card with the cryptocurrency. In the beginning with the Revu token, to actually pay with the crypto for your subscriptions. Still, for all those payments made through the Revuto debit card, you're going to get cashback. And that is really important to understand. And that cashback can actually grow with the time, because you're going to get cashback in Revu tokens. Then also, we have really good referral program, which actually rewards you whenever your friend uses Revuto to pay his subscriptions with a Revuto debit card. Still, then there are some other advantages, amazing advantages. So you get I mentioned the security. Then you get really awesome option to easily switch between different payment options once when you actually pre-authorize the Revuto debit card with the service provider. So within the app, you can choose between, you can also opt to top up that card with your debit or credit cards. I mentioned even with the cryptocurrency. There's some amazing features also regarding micro lending and borrowing feature. So if for any reason it happens that on a due date you don't have your own funds, you can actually take advantage of the micro lending pools. So you can borrow money and pay for that particular subscriptions, and when you return the money, you add a small fee to it. But on the other hand, it's also a great opportunity for others to earn some additional money by providing the liquidity to others. It really works well. We even have that unique setup, which actually doesn't require for user to have a collateral to be able to use those funds. We are just gonna track the user behavior within the app and see who is paying and when and how many of those subscriptions, and then we're gonna build our own scoring mechanism within the app and decide to whom we are gonna allow to actually use those loans. But again, I mentioned even that snoozing option is really great, because we give opportunity to people to decide which actually subscription they don't need to pay on a due date. Because what happens with the particular subscriptions, for instance, when you subscribe with the Netflix, you pretty much need to pay on a due date, because if you don't do that, they're gonna terminate your service. If you don't do that with the Dropbox, for instance, you can still use Dropbox for 30 days. They give you that grace period. And we know that, and we're going to even suggest to people for how many days they can snooze the payment to maximize their financial potential. Okay, so to choose between which payments they want to pay now or maybe pay later. And again, so many amazing
certainly is a lot
features to to help people much better manage their money when it comes to subscriptions. Also, there is awesome feature regarding free trials. So we all are aware how many times we actually lose money on those free trial traps. We tend to opt for a free trial because we think that we're gonna unsubscribe on time, and then we forget about that. Or sometimes it's really hard and difficult to unsubscribe because you need to go to web page and find that unsubscribe feature. But with Revuto, you're gonna be actually free of those free trial traps because they won't be able to take the money without your consent at any point of time. So again,
that's gonna be one hell of an app when it's all going and everything's like, especially lending and the borrowing as well. That's a whole new concept of DeFi. So it's going to be an app with a sort of all-in-one, isn't it? You talk about the virtual debit cards as well. The actual physical, is that, I saw on your roadmap, is that something next year that is still on course?
Yeah, it is on course. Obviously, we want to build a super app and add many features as well. And the physical debit card is something that people ask us for. That card is going to be for a general purpose, so people are going to be able to buy things offline, and most importantly, also to take some money out of the ATMs as well. But that is going to come, early next year. Soon we're gonna also sell some special NFTs, which are gonna, the utility of those NFTs are gonna be unlocking that early access to Revuto physical debit cards. We're gonna sell a limited number of those NFTs. It's gonna be 10,000, and it's gonna still, it's gonna even it's gonna make the ecosystem even better with those cards. So
I missed your NFT drop you did on launch. I think it was 1,800. I remember. I missed that, unfortunately.
And with what is so also great about the physical debit cards, because if you build those DeFi setups and for lending and borrowing and things like that, people can actually take fiat out of that setup, on ATM or even when they're paying for something. And I believe that's a really cool feature, but it's a demanding feature from a regulatory side. Okay, people don't get that we have to work with the card issuing and banking provider to be able to offer such a product. So
that's just starting Europe initially, would it? Sort of
we're gonna start with the UK market.
Oh well.
So, UK first. Amazingly, so we were. So there is a separate compliance process for the UK because of the Brexit and for the European Union. And believe it or not, it was easier now to be fully compliant with the UK regulatory than with the European. And that's actually a good thing. So
surprises me, to be honest. Over here. That's really good to hear.
You see, so there's Brexit is not so, sometimes it's not so bad. I know that you have your opinion about it. Everybody in the UK has. I'm not into politics. But that's the case, and we're gonna start with the UK, and then we're gonna spread to other European countries. But not just European countries, but countries from the Eurozone, like Switzerland and Liechtenstein as well. So,
that's great to hear. And taking time, obviously, and progress to the rest of the world in time. Obviously, it's going to take a long while just to get the Europe up and running. I appreciate that. So
exactly.
Always said, like before, like Africa's like an untouched market, isn't it, in crypto? Really, I know. Getting back to Cardano, but I know he's quite proactive within Africa. But it's certainly an untouched market out there, isn't it? And there is an opportunity there. But I can imagine the regulatory there would be an absolute epic.
It would, but we want to play it smart, just step by step. First, UK market. There's some other reasons why we are going after UK market as well. So we have a lot of users already on board, fully KYC from the UK, and UK, and it's a financial powerhouse of the European Union, especially London, and also a lot of those fintech products, are they are gaining a good traction in the UK. So it's a business decision as well, in a way.
No, that's great. No, so your app is going to sort of, as it progresses this year and next year, is going to be absolutely huge, isn't it?
Well, hopefully we'll see.
As the app develops, obviously you can get obviously a lot of people joining. It's going to constantly update it to allow all these users on, isn't it? So will you be able to have NFTs on the app as well? Will you be able to trade the NFT Marketplace? Would that be on the app or just mainly on the site? Would that be on the app? Or was that too much?
Yes. So listen, we have NFT section within the app, and we want to make app really, really user friendly. So what is going to happen now that's going to happen in July? We're going to actually sell additional set of really crazy cool NFTs. Okay. We call them revolution NFTs. Why? Because with the Revuto, we want to revolutionize how people actually use NFTs to subscribe with subscriptions, and those NFTs, they really open a whole new ecosystem, or I would say even like business for subscriptions. So first things first. So we're gonna issue 10,000 NFTs for Netflix or Spotify, free Netflix and free Spotify for a lifetime. People are gonna be able to buy them directly on our webpage even for a fiat with their debit and credit cards. Is gonna be really simple way how to do it, and then they're gonna get a code which they're gonna use to redeem those NFTs within the app. It's really simple, straightforward process. Then once they have that NFT in their crypto wallet, they're gonna actually we're gonna issue them a virtual debit card, which they're gonna use to subscribe with Netflix or Spotify, depending on which NFT they buy. But the trick is, the good thing about it is, when you are gonna decide that you don't want to now use a Netflix or Spotify anymore, you are going to be able to actually put that NFT on the market and sell it to somebody else. And whoever is going to buy it and have it in their own, because it's going to be transaction, you're going to actually send NFT to somebody else's crypto wallet, and whoever is going to have that NFT in the Revuto app, we're going to again issue virtual debit card to that user to subscribe with either Netflix or Spotify, and to have Spotify for free. So Revuto is going to be covering those monthly expenses. But that's just a small intro into what we want to actually do with NFTs and subscriptions. So why NFTs are cool? So in the future with Revuto, you're going to be able to mint NFT for any subscription in the world for any period of time. For instance, when you go to merchant's web page, you usually can actually either pay month after month, or you have option to pay for 12 months and you get some discount, or 24 months. But those guys that opt for 12 or 24 months, what usually happens? You pay for the year, and you sometimes, most of the times, don't use that particular service for the whole period of time. And we said, why wouldn't we allow people to actually sell that unused period of time, subscription period? So we're going to offer people to actually select if they want to even buy Netflix for 5 months, 7 months, 8 months. We know how much Netflix costs. We're going to say this NFT is cost you, I don't know, $80 for 8 months. For instance, you're going to buy it, you're going to start using it. If you use that NFT for 3 months and then you sell it to somebody else, somebody else can use it for the next 5 months. But the trick is that you can sell it for even less than, you know, that usually those 5 months cost, because you know that you're not going to be using, and then people can actually buy Netflix for less than they would buy directly from the merchant. And that's really great, because again, it is gonna open the whole new ecosystem of NFTs, and people are going to be able to trade those. And whenever somebody gets the NFT, we have a minting policy with a starting date and ending date. We know which date is today. You send that NFT to somebody else's wallet, and you know, until the the end date is not come, you know, Revuto is going to be paying for that subscription, okay, via the virtual debit cards. But it's really amazing setup, and I think that people are gonna actually use that. And what is even more appealing is that we're gonna offer people discounts, because we're gonna say, okay, if you wanna buy Netflix for 8 months and it's $80, we're gonna say, we're gonna give you a discount if you buy Revu tokens and stake for 12 months. Okay.
Yes, that's really
good. And things like that. So again, I believe that this is gonna change how people actually buy their subscriptions.
Yeah, I believe that as well. Even to a degree, once Spotify and Netflix see what NFTs are, probably do already. But when they see that and what people are offering, that could again entice them into it to interact with you as well. Because when you release a 10,000 NFTs, not all of them be able to get the Netflix subscription, will they, for life? Will there be a certain like select few of the NFTs?
No, actually, all those 10,000 people are going to be able to use Netflix or Spotify for a lifetime. And that's a gimmick that we are doing, actually, just to introduce people with that model, with that setup. But the end goal is actually to show them how they actually can buy subscriptions with Revuto for particular period of time and resell it, or you know, trade with that subscription time. But also, what is really important to understand, that those NFTs can be used as gifts. So for instance, what you can do, you can buy subscription for a Netflix and mint the NFT for 8 months or 6 months and actually send it to your friend, and friend can actually use it as a gift. We issued that friend a virtual debit card. He uses with the Netflix, and that's it. He doesn't have to pay anything. Revuto is gonna top up that card when the due date comes. And in a way, we are gonna also, we plan to replace all those gift cards in the market, because they're physical and you cannot actually buy gift card for everything. But with Revuto, you can mint out NFT for anything, for any kind of subscription. So that's the beauty of the setup.
I was just thinking about my daughter, to be honest. I say she's really into Spotify and Netflix. That'd be a perfect birthday present. But yeah, no, I can see the actual massive potential, and obviously the Revu token then obviously do very well. Obviously, it's got its general usage, obviously, but it's going to make it genuine use. That's really interesting to hear, actually, because the Revu token, I say, was such quite a low supply, relatively speaking. You can see the potential there. I really can see that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because people usually don't pay attention much about the tokenomics and how everything's set up. Nowadays, we see those projects minting out billions of tokens and everything, and then they just release a small portion of the supply into circulating supply, and they create a big demand because of the hype and FOMO and marketing activities and everything. And then because there is such a small portion of supply out there, the price goes up pretty quickly. But if you calculate everything and how much there is a space left to actually make sense, it doesn't, you know, because if you from then there on go to 10x or 100x, you would be better than bigger than a Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, people don't pay attention. We really, you know, took our time to make that reasonable. reasonable.
That's what I always say to people when you look at a project. Obviously, look at the fundamentals, but you look at the genuine use case, and you can see their Revu token's obviously got a massive use case. I always say that to people. You look at the team. Your team's massive, isn't it? You got a huge team.
Yeah, it's like more than 44 people and then 10 advisors, something like that. So
that's a big team. That really is. You very rarely see that in any project, to be honest. That is incredible. So the Revu token itself, you're on two of the favorite exchanges, KU Coin and Gate. You also BitPanda very good as well. Is there any other exchanges coming out soon?
Yeah, that's a very often question that we get. So why we actually in the beginning went with the KuCoin and Gate.io? Because we are a payment service in a way, and we are offering people to use crypto to top up those debit cards. In a way, we have to work with the exchange to exchange that crypto to fiat. And that exchange needs to be fast and very liquid. And you cannot go with the decentralized exchanges to do that, and especially in Cardano when everything is so early. So we had to go with the best that we could at that time. The problem was that nobody actually wanted to list Cardano native token at the time, because it took them time to do a technical integration with the Cardano native token. Now we see exchanges doing that, but not all of them. So when you ask about, if we're going to be listed on more exchanges, yes. But now the question is, which are those exchanges that are ready? Believe it or not, usually those lower tier exchanges are ready before those big ones, because they can afford time, to actually make the integration possible. But also it's also about the strategic decision, because listing on tier one exchanges costs a lot of money, and then sometimes it's not even good to be listed too early. Okay, so everybody asks when Binance, they're not gonna list us now, just to be clear about that, because it's too early, we are too small. Okay, but even if they would say yes, it wouldn't be smart for us, because we are not ready. Okay, so we need bigger community, and the tokenomics needs to start to work and everything, because if you expose yourself to bigger market, more liquidity on those markets, price of your token can go down. That's why I say, it's good to go firstly with the decentralized exchanges, especially on Cardano, because in a way it's a bubble market, so there is no much liquidity on those exchanges, and it's difficult to trade.
Yeah, I think KU Coin and Gate are brilliant. I've been on KU Coin for years, and Gate just done its 9th anniversary. So, they're high quality exchanges. So the fact you're on them alone is absolutely fantastic.
For now, we are good with those.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that. So I say on the video, I covered many different parts, and another bit that fascinated me was the R Fund.
Yeah,
it's like you help projects get started, don't you? And they have to be built on Cardano, don't they? If I read it correctly.
Yeah. So idea behind that was to actually help the businesses like we were. We had a big problem when we were doing our ICO, because it takes money to do a good ICO. It doesn't matter if it's ICO, IDO, IEO, ISPO. So it's not a free thing, because most of the funds need to go through to marketing and build a team and hiring and a lot of things. And we said, so we now raised a lot, maybe more than even we need. And we said we're gonna try to get that money back into ecosystem through those pre-ICO projects that we believe have a good future. And we decided to actually build a small fund, $1 + $1 million. We invest $1 million, community invests $1 million, and then we're going to find a few of those good projects, promising projects on Cardano to help them to do a good ICO. But it's a good setup also for our investors, because what we usually ask those projects for is good terms under which we invest in those tokens. We invest in tokens, and if they manage to do a successful ICO, then we're going to benefit from that too. So it's a win-win for both sides.
Yeah, I saw it the other day. Was it Twitter or was it Medium? I forget. About Profiler, I think was your
Profiler.
first.
Yeah. So that was the first project that we invested in. They still didn't do ICO, unfortunately, and the problem now is because when we set up everything, we were in a way we were in a bull cycle or something like that. Now we are in a bear market. Okay, at least everybody thinks so, but we are. And the problem is with those pre-ICO companies is that they're afraid now to launch their tokens. So I have my own opinion. I think that they shouldn't be afraid, because for good projects there is always a space to make a good thing, even during the bear market. But it's in the end it's their decision, so we cannot do anything about it. Profila is gonna hopefully go live in July, but we'll see. They postponed their ICO, I think two or three times already. So but awesome project in general. So an awesome team, but they're now waiting actually to see when it will be the best time to launch.
Yeah, we don't know with bear markets, bull markets, do it? Stuff. I remember the 2018. That was a savage year. That was that bear market. I don't think we'll ever have that again. Personally, that savage. But at the moment, obviously, everything's just stagnant, is it? But this is when you look for the future and projects with huge potential. So with your investors, again, I saw it on your site, all the investment, the partnerships you're getting now is huge. Even like Chainlink, Coty's payment option on the Cardano, wasn't it? So linking all up those speaks volumes for your project long term. I'll put a link below to the previous videos so people see it, but I also mentioned from a Facebook group, all your partnerships and investors alone speaks volumes.
Yeah, and they're all there for a reason. Even Coty, listen, to build those great DeFi setups, you always have to lean on the stablecoin, because you cannot expose the setup to the volatile assets. And Revu token, even ADA is, it can go up and down. So we partnered with those guys, but again, now they have their own difficulties because of a Luna shitstorm, because they are algorithmic stablecoin, which I'm not big fan of, because still, if you depend on the algorithm, I'm not sure if you can always predict any setup. And if there is at least one way how people can exploit that setup, they're going to find a way. Okay. And sometimes it's really hard to envision all those edge cases, if the market goes down and if this asset which is backing the setup is going to go down and things like that. So it can get messy. So I'm not a big fan of it, but if those guys are going to be the first who are going to be up and running, we're going to work with them.
One thing I need to clarify on your, I think the tweet was today actually about the R airdrop.
Yeah.
Wrong here. Is that related to the R fund, or is that completely separate?
No. With us, everything is starting with R.
Oh, okay.
Even
I just thought R airdrop. Okay, okay.
What is that about? So, believe it or not, we are launching on 1st of August our DEX, decentralized exchange, which is going to be the first decentralized exchange on Cardano on a mobile device, built-in full native mobile apps, and to actually boost, incentivize again the ecosystem around the DEX, you need to have good tokenomics and the token which you can actually order as use as a LP token, to use it in the setups for yield farming and to cover transaction fees. And we have some other things as well, but those are just basic things around the decentralized exchanges for which the tokens are used. But the problem with those tokens is that they are usually mostly inflationary tokens, because you mint them out and you just use them to incentivize the ecosystem, but you don't have any other mechanisms to create buying pressure on that token. Okay, your exchange can be really it can grow really big and everything, so, and people just because of it they buy a token because they believe in the project and everything. But there should be something else. And we in the beginning we said that a Revu token is going to be there to support, to be included in buyback mechanism that we wanted to have. And because we listed Revu token on centralized exchanges, we had to prove those exchanges that we are not going to be a security token, and buyback mechanism is considered not so, like, it leans toward the security. And there were some other things as well. For instance, the governance is also one part that they're not really happy about. And we said, we just want to push out the Revu token out, be on centralized exchanges because we have to, but our token is going to be traded only on decentralized exchanges, and we can bring back in those mechanisms. So we're going to introduce again buyback mechanism. And what that means, so Revuto by itself, that business model is sustainable and it's profitable, because whenever somebody is going to pay for something, there are small transaction fees and everything, and we have a freemium and premium business model. So we're going to actually charge people to use our service, and it's making money. And we said, whatever comes as a profit, we're going to bring back into ecosystem through the token. But now it's going to go through the R token, not through the Revu token. And people are going to be able to exchange our token for a Revu token on decentralized exchange like ours or any others, but not on any centralized exchange. We said we're never going to list our token on centralized exchange, and we're never going to allow our token to be used as a top-up source for the virtual debit card. So in a way, we wanted to protect the Revu token.
So it's for the DEX. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the tweet today, and I sort of in passing, I just wonder what that was. Okay, so that's interesting to see. So your DEX comes out in August. That's massive for this year.
Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah. And there is an airdrop which actually is gonna start as well summer after the 15th of July, because at this between 1st of June and 15th of July we are taking snapshots of Revu token wallets to see how many people are having how many tokens, and we're going to actually compensate them for having Revu tokens with small portion of our tokens as well. So
that's great. Okay, that's interesting for you. So the screenshots on July the 15th. Okay, I remember that. Yeah. You also got a stable coin as well, haven't you? The EURR.
Yeah. So again, I said that I'm not big fan of algorithmic stablecoins, and I still believe that on Cardano it should be something like a USDT or USDC, something that is really backed, or at least it should be backed by the dollar or euro. And it's not technically hard to do that, but it's more again about the regulatory thing. Okay, so is a stable coin. You say that the price is going to be pegged either to US dollar or to euro. We want to do that, to peg it to euro. We are working on that. I'm not sure if we're going to be even able to do that, but I'm going to do everything that we can to actually build such a stable coin. If not us, I believe that somebody else is going to do it, and it's going to be much better thing, but still somebody needs to do it. My opinion.
No, that's absolutely fascinating. I say you've certainly got a lot going on, haven't you? I say, so the NFT marketplace, that would be in place this year, would it? Obviously, because you're talking about the app.
Yeah, listen, that's a good question. So we decided not to build a marketplace by ourselves. So we have NFT section, but now we partnered with Cardahub because they offered us really awesome opportunity, not only to build a marketplace, Revuto marketplace within their own marketplace, but also to build such a setup to allow people only to buy and sell, actually to trade those NFTs for a Revu tokens with the Revu tokens. And Carda Hub is a project that is allowing that. They're the first ones, and it suits our needs because we wanna everything keep in that Revuto ecosystem. And we're gonna launch with those guys. I believe also it's gonna happen somewhere in July.
Wow. Okay.
They already they're really doing everything that they can to speed up the process, but it's gonna take some time to launch that feature. But a lot of things.
It's an incredible roadmap. It truly is. You've got so much
It
going.
is crazy packed.
I appreciate you coming on because it's just to get your head around everything within your ecosystem. There's a lot going on, and that's why we've done the video. And it's important to open people's eyes up to a project with such use case and such sort of quite aggressive roadmap and a huge team. So it's once the app's fully up and running as well, you can see the potential where it's just getting the word out, isn't it, to people to see this potential. So I really do appreciate you coming on, Vedran. That is absolutely incredible to hear.
I'm sorry that we couldn't do it in less than 20 minutes, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I've kept you far too long here. No, it's honestly, it's absolutely fascinating to see what you've got going on. So again, I probably might help people with the app, but it's what I've used. It's very straightforward. So I'd recommend it to anyone. It's very easy to use. It's been sort of user friendly, isn't it? Especially if people just get involved with crypto as this develops. I think you've got huge potential. I truly do honestly believe it. So I'll be keeping a very close eye. We'll say do an update video in a couple of months. I think you've got a wonderful project to make. I'm not just saying it because you're on, but I genuinely do believe that. So thanks very much. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate your time. I know you're extremely busy.
Thank you. And apologize for my English speaking. I'm not
fantastic. Don't worry about that. It's fantastic.
Born in the US or England, so I'm still struggling, but
no, it's just great. Honestly, don't worry about that. That's fantastic. Thanks very much, Vedran. Cheers. Appreciate you coming on. Cheers now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.